Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For he who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may reinherit yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. And yet, you know you will never be free of your urge if you don't confront your past. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Your friend turned to foe, knowing what you are.
Feast table. And a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. Perhaps I deserved what came after the welcome as well. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye, herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities, mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
Poor Shadowheart. She's been jerked around so much. I want to believe the gods keep this world balanced, but sometimes I wonder. He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just... it felt like a good fit. I kept him safe and he paid me well. Well enough to move into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldurs Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard. What are you thinking about? Really? Really? Oh.
Taken from the light to be raised in darkness. The truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk. Are you sure? And just...
Shadowheart was no true child of Shah, merely a captive. She must have her vengeance.
I would not linger in this land over long.
As you wish.
I swear, I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry, all is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready. Good. Now our route...
Well met. That's...
Looks like an army marched through here.
curse has been lifted, the land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prison bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live?
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
Did you want something? If not, I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while.
At the ready. Cursed to put my hands on everything. another step forward. I have something to ask.
Thou hast now a bosom companion. Take care that thou art not distracted on thy quest, seeking the comforts of the flesh. Recall that in time.
I was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the Absolute. Yeah, I don't think I could have gone through with it, in truth. And I'm glad that I didn't, given what has come to light. Indeed. Under other circumstances, I might have been subdued or ashamed. But after what we saw, I must admit, I'm excited. The Elder Brain. But more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could sense it. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete. I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power. The ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. That crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding its true nature might unlock the means of our victory. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerous Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. The only kind I have? Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Netherese texts are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems.
Let's see what this does.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison, and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. it will answer to you. And what then? You are prone to impulses as uncontrollable as the gods themselves. Will you even have a say in what you do? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Even as you utter the words to yourself, you know it is but an intention. And these dark desires of yours have little regard for your intentions. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
The reckoning is upon us! The city thirsts for domination. March! Join
We're under attack. Help me.
No rest, be you wicked or wise.
Battle favors the fearless.
What should I do?
Here, I'll save you.
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Yes.
Oh, Father, harden my heart. On the move. Let every enemy of nature fall.
What now?
Come quickly. I can't do this without you.
We can act fast. forward. Take your...
Ready for battle.
Unleash me! I shall not rest.
Behold the dance of death.
What's next?
Awaiting orders.
Do what needs to be done.
Oak Father, watch over your servant.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Let's finish this.
On the victor's path.
You still have time to surrender.
None can withstand nature's wrath.
It's not over. Come to the skull.
Whatever it takes.
Hurry. I can't hold them back alone.
Just a brief respite.
Moving in.
Mind Flayer. God's damned abomination.
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Ursula Night Song from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here. Though it brought Blackhead's roll upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the Mind Flayer's awareness is everywhere. You blunder in its presence like a walk pup learning to walk.
You must be joking. I am telling you my thoughts directly into your head. But if you insist on taking a look for yourself, be my guest.
Nothing in your colorful existence to date could have prepared you for this. As the horror subsides, you are left with only one coherent thought. You must do whatever you can to subdue the Githyanki.
Happy? Now, join me. Fight! Together, we can turn the tide.
Only the worms have use for you now. By your command.
must not stop.
Bring me into battle.
For Orpheus! Attacker! Got to keep fighting.
Well, so much for peace.
Enemies about. Disobey. Take zero.
I will try to make it stop.
of shit!
A grievous wound.
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer. Yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
And so we should swoon and offer a kiss, abomination? Ah, I would not even know where to plant it.
I suppose it was considerate of you not to bring it up before. And I ask that you do not judge me for it now. I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldurs Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my own city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them. Rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stillmain. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield. The largest mercantile operation in Baldurs Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence. Though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call me Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. Rather them than potential future allies, like you. fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prison. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt it change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense will be to kill him. And in so doing, you would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion. A pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already illithid. A sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that. But this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel. But the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic. And that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well, the limited form you have. But you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not? I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced elder brain. But in case you change your mind... look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
What's inside? One day I'll catch a break. That will fit in my back. Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Time to get going.
First in my heart.
By Baldur's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? How could I forget? One of Baldur's Gate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something?
So your confidant was a mind flayer all along. Disquieting, to say the least.
You wish to consult me?
So your mysterious artifact, Tamer of Parasites, is only another parasite itself. How do you feel? Knowing the cost of keeping your transformation at bay. Still is, probably. Along with a tadpole that, lest we forget, is just waiting for a chance to split your skull. Illithids are monstrous creatures. But in the end, they are only that. Creatures. And if it can, a parasite will keep its host fat, happy, and safe. Until it is finished feeding, at least. Am I comforting you? I am not comforting myself. Use the Emperor as it would use you. Or discard it. My days of doubting you are done.
Parasite communes with Lazel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prison.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Gate visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our gay slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? I thought I knew who I was. But I was wrong. I do not belong to Shah. And I do not want to be adorned like one of her puppets any longer. The hair is just a gesture, true. But everything has a first step. An unexpected benefit of my training. Any novice knows how to source the right herbs and mixtures to alter one's hair. Typically reserved for disguises and subterfuge rather than self-discovery. But I don't live by Shah's rules any longer. I'm glad. Though, I don't think I'm quite done with the past yet. Not until I've been to Baldurs Gate.
Gods. A mind flayer's been getting their tentacles all over our dreams this whole time. I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all in this thing. It's already shown itself a liar. I've got my eyes on the Emperor, and Karlach doesn't blink.
We have a new look for a new Shadowheart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
We must find where Gortat and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
Walk in death.
The city is close now. My former peers will be watching, no doubt. Waiting for my return.
Something good here.
We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She was sick. She had spots on her face and hands. She went to go get some herbs, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10-day, though. Guards blow like petards. They don't help us. Wow. Thanks. My mum would like this. She's the best cook in the world. And she taught me, too. I'll look for her. I think she'll probably come soon. Thanks a lot.
I do not understand why the matrons, patriarchs of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. I was not suggesting they be allowed to roam free. They should be put to work. The city needs laborers and fodder to protect it. Yes. And if they work hard enough for long enough, the city might allow them to earn their freedom one day.
That's why we need to walk just a little more. Mate, there is so much wrong with that name.
little one. But you'll be in a big...
And you'll have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
I'm never allowed sweet things right before bed.
Just like that. Of course. Cleaning, cooking, construction, the possibilities are endless.
Did you realize the Red Caps had escaped?
What do you
Paramedics. One of our Red Cap cleaners alerted me.
Of course.
Remind them that this
Never
is
travels
ours.
without his friends.
Got camp bits and bobs from Dandelon's dancing ass.
Whatever it is doesn't bode well.
Something's on my mind.
The absolute.
Welcome, adventurer. I take it you're new to Rivington. No doubt you came here to choose from my fine selection of weapons. Yes, I seem to have it all. Clubs, swords, maces, bows, cutting and gutting galore. Why don't we see if we can find the perfect weapon for you? I provide a personalised service for my customers to make sure the weapon I choose is the perfect fit. Tell me, how do you like to kill? I see. Playing to your strengths. Keeping things simple. And when you kill someone, what do you feel? It is a pleasure, isn't it? Warm and sweet and sticky. One more question, if you'll humour me. Do you think you could turn your weapon on those closest to you? You can't stop yourself any more than stop your blood pumping. You delay the inevitable.
Look at it, come crawling home, hands stained with the Bone Lord's soot. And you carry his stone. Weak and soft and broken. Oh, sweet sibling, the world has dulled you. Or maybe I poked your mind matter too sharply. I could end it now, but I'll be patient. Father will see us together again. He will see you bleed.
Orin is a doppelganger then. Excellent. Another cause to look over our shoulders.
You! Try attacking me when my back isn't turned, you bloody coward. Is that so? You've got some evil twin running round whacking people round the back of the head. I'll tell you now, you'll be seeing bloody double when I'm done with you. Well, you're not wrong. Feels like my brain's been drawn on the anvil. I need a bloody drink. Go on, clear off. I've seen enough of your face today.
Trouble! What's the harm in one night?
That was before I saw the giant metal monsters guarding the checkpoint.
A few days in a jail cell. At least we'd have a bed.
Is one of those steel watchers stamping us into the dirt.
Starving folk tend not
That's
to.
curious.
They just and taking their fair shares. We've had plenty for everyone.
If won't get us fed and watered.
If I was a Sharan lookout, this is the sort of place I'd
every
walk
day.
around.
It was touch and go. Some close calls. The cult have claimed every road between Baldurs Gate and Eltergard. But from what you tell me...
Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For he who fights with monsters should look to it that he himself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected, and that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may re-inherit yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. And yet, you know you will never be free of your urge if you don't confront your past. You are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Your friend turned to foe, knowing what you are.